Katie and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video, we will be making my March TBR and I'm really excited. I took a little bit of a break from, not really from reading, but from making videos, and I am energized and ready to make a ton of content for you guys. So for those of you that don't know, I have a complete separate shelf where I have all of my physical TBR books, and we are going to pick like 4 prompts from here, and it'll help me read my physical TBR, hopefully. It went really well in January. I read all 4. And then in February, I only did 1 of the prompts. So I'm going to throw the other 3 back in here because I feel like I still need to try to do them. So I'm gonna open it up, put these 3 back in, mix it all around, and then we can get started. Okay. So the first prompt is a book by your favorite author. Okay. So typically I would say like Stephanie Garber is my favorite, but I've read all of hers. We have Carrie Maniscalco, which I do have the next 2 books in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, so I could read book 3. I also have, I do have some Mariana Zapata, and she's also one of my faves. So I feel like I might do a Mariana Zapata. It's been a while. It's been since December, I think, since I've read a new Mariana Zapata book. So my question is, do I want All Roads Lead Here, Luna and the Lie, or Colty? And I'm kind of leaning toward Luna and the Lie. So let me grab that real quick. Okay, so this is Luna and the Lie. It's a little chunky, just like most Mariana Zapata books. I don't really know anything about it. I am not sure if it's Grumpy Sunshine. I know the love interest is super grumpy. I think he is also her boss. And all I know is at some point she lies for him, and I think he feels like indebted to her, or at least like confused about why she would help him because they're not really friends. And that's all I know. I think they work at a body shop. I don't know if I said that already. The guy on the cover has tattoos on his hand, so that's kind of fun. But that's all I know. It also seems like it might be an age gap romance, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. Okay, let's get our second prompt. A seasonal read. This is tricky because technically it's still winter. It's March, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like winter. It's been kind of warm lately, so I don't know if I want to go with like a book that gives me spring vibes or if I want to stick to like wintry vibes. Let me pick a couple options and I will be back. Okay, so the first one of my options, we have Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I feel like everybody has read this but me. For some reason, this gives me winter vibes. I have no idea why, but this cover just gives me winter vibes. Then we have I Love You So Mochi by Sarah Kuhn, which has like cherry blossoms, I think. And this definitely gives me spring vibes. And then we have The Bone Spindle, which I think is a good mixture of both because like just the background, it seems very like cold and wintry, but then also it has roses, which is spring. So I think I'm gonna go with this just because I can't decide which season it feels like right now. So we're gonna go with The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder. And I don't know much about this. This is a new release. It came out in January, I wanna say. I don't know. But the front says, Kiss the Prince, Break the Curse. And then on the back it says, The Sleep of Death Broken with a Single Kiss. So I'm really excited about it. I know we have like 3 main characters. I think it's told from all their perspectives, but I'm not positive. And it says there's like dark magic and witch hunters and all that kind of stuff. And also like romance and found family. So pretty much everything you could ever want. All right, prompt number 3. Ooh, okay, an arc. I have a couple arcs from NetGalley that I have to read. We have Belladonna by Adeline Grace, I think. Or we have A Date from Hell by, I can't remember who it's by. Let me look it up. Okay, so it's The Date from Hell by Gwenda Bond, which is the sequel to, what is it called? I can't remember. I read that one last year, and it's like a good combination of like paranormal romance or a paranormal like fantasy vibe mixed with like a rom-com, and it's like awkward and funny but also has like some cool paranormal elements to it. So it's definitely an interesting vibe, but I loved the first one. And then Belladonna by Adeline Grace, I don't know too much about, but I was really excited to be approved for the arc. The little blurb says, a girl confronts death and her own deathly powers in this gothic-infused, romantic, young adult fantasy. I think I'm gonna go with A Date from Hell only because I have to read that one this month anyway. That one is being published April 5th, and Belladonna isn't being published until August 23rd. So I have a bit more time to read that one. So we're gonna go with The Date from Hell. And then the last prompt for March is a book published in your birth month. Okay, that one's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna have to do some research because I can't remember books published in August. My birthday is August 18th, so I'm gonna have to dig deep and see what was published in August. Okay, so I looked through Goodreads for a while, and the first two that I found were Battle Royal by Lucy Parker and The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is another book I feel like I'm super behind with reading. Everybody else has read it. It's a movie now, and I still have not read it. And this seems super cute. I think it involves like a cupcake business. I don't know. Something about cupcakes. They're both holding cupcakes. And I love books with baking in it. And I don't really know what else this one's about. I think I'm just going to go with The Hating Game because I really need some motivation to read it. But I'm hoping I'm going to love it. I feel like everybody else does. Okay, so now it's time for me to pick 6 more books to fill up the rest of my TBR, and usually this is a lot easier for me, but March doesn't really have a vibe, so I'm not really sure. Like February, all romance. It was also Black History Month, so I had some books by Black authors on there, but for March, I don't really get a vibe. I feel like it's a good month for me to read more fantasies, but also I'm still a sucker for romance. So I don't really know what to do. It feels kind of like a blank slate, so maybe I could convince myself to read some books I've been holding off on. And also maybe I could read some sequels because I'm not really good at that. Something I'm hoping to read is Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. And this is the Fairy Loot edition. It's beautiful, but I don't really know much about it. I think it's about a girl who, I think she's 16, and she's sent to stay with her late mother's family. And basically her family, they're all monsters, and she had no idea. And I don't know if she's a monster herself, but her family definitely is, and they all have like hidden powers. And she also works at this like historic house where she has a coworker named Nick who like takes her out on a date. Like he's super cute. And it turns out he's not just a cute boy. He's actually a monster hunter or monster slayer. He'll do anything to bring them down. So she's obviously stuck in the middle of this. And oh, it says she battles Nick, and she's forced to work with Aaron Oliver, who is the heir to a monster family that hates her own family. So there's just a lot happening. There might be like a love triangle. I don't know if she actually liked Nick. I'm like talking way too much about it. Basically, I'm very invested. Sometimes I don't connect with the Fairy Loot book. Like, I plan on reading all of them because they're all gorgeous, and, you know, they were, like, picked for a reason, but there's certain ones I just connect with, and this is one of the ones that I am super excited to read. And also, it has these, like, custom end papers with them on it, and it's just so pretty. So I have to read it. Moral of the story. So this is book 5. Okay, book 6. We have Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the first book in the Calloway Sisters series, but it's interwoven with the Addicted series. So I've read the first 3 books in the Addicted series, and this is the next one I need to read. And I'm really excited. This focuses on Rose and Connor. So it's been a while. I think it's been at least a month since I've read a book in like this world. So I'm really excited to dive back in and also to focus on a different couple. I just love them so much, and this is going to be really great. So definitely picking this one up. Then I have another no-brainer, which is Court by Tracy Wolff. This is the 4th book in the Crave series, and I love that series. I've been waiting for this book for so long. I've had it pre-ordered since like the beginning of 2021, and it showed up within the last couple weeks, so I've been rereading the Crave series. So I am currently on Covet, which is the 3rd book, but I took a break from that for some reason, and now I'm like on book 6 of Zodiac Academy, so I'm definitely going to finish that series before I dive back into this one. I just got distracted, but now I'm obsessed with Zodiac Academy, which is besides the point. But I will dive back into Covet, finish that, and then finally get to this one. So I have to put this on my TBR. This next one is a little ambitious, but we have Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. I don't know how to say her name. I really don't. But this is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, and I read Serpent and Dove in 2020, I want to say. And I didn't really like it all that much. I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. I can't remember. But I thought the romance was going to be amazing, and I ended up not really liking the romance at all. There was enough like world building and stuff that I did enjoy, but I didn't see chemistry between the characters. And that was before I started reading like darker romances. So I want to give it a chance because I got this book for my family for Christmas, and I want to try to reread Serpent and Dove and give it another chance so that I can dive into Blood and Honey. So we'll see how this goes. It probably won't actually happen, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Number 9 is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I know I almost picked it for one of the prompts, but I actually kind of really want to read it. I somehow have avoided all spoilers. I know people like somebody named Aaron, I think. That's all I know, and I don't even know when you see him. I feel like there's more books in this series than I realize. I thought there were only like 4, but there's definitely more than that at this point. But on the front, it just says, "My touch is lethal." And then it's crossed out and says, "My touch is power." And I think, yeah, Juliet's touch is fatal. And the reestablishment is trying to use her as a weapon. Okay. I feel like that's probably why I avoided it for so long, because I've known about this series for a while. Like, when was this published? 2011? I've probably seen this in stores since then, and I've been avoiding it because I went through that, like, phase of reading dystopian novels. You know what I mean? I went through that phase just like everybody else did, and then after being thrown so many at a time, I needed a break, so maybe I'm finally ready. We'll see, but I'm definitely going to try to dive in. If you've read this series, without any spoilers, let me know what you think and like who your favorite character is. I'm really excited to dive into this, and there's one more spot on my TBR. I'm not sure what I want to choose. Last but not least, I finally decided on Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I've had this for a very long time, and I think it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, which they're like my favorite people in Greek mythology, like by far. So I'm really excited. And I know that the sequel, Electric Idol, is already out. I meant to read this before that one was published, but obviously that didn't happen. So hopefully I can read this and then it'll be an excuse to buy Electric Idol. But we will see. I've heard really good things about it, and I know it's spicy. So, I mean, that's really all I need to know. I will let you guys know what I think about this, but I have high hopes for this one. Okay, so those are all the books on my March TBR. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, what you think about them, but also let me know what books you are hoping to read this month. Also, I know that this TBR is coming out really late. It's already like the second week of March. So I have already read a lot of the books that I already wanted to read, like Terms and Conditions. Also, I've already read Hook, Line, and Sinker. I read that in February because it came a little early for me, but that wasn't even published till March 1st. Also, the Zodiac Academy, started that in March, and I'm already on book 6, like I said, so I'm so obsessed. Like, I'm more obsessed with that series than I could have ever imagined. So, I've already read a lot of those, but these are just some other fun ones for me to try to read in the next few weeks. I'm really rambly in this because it's been so long since I've talked to you guys, but if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.